All right, I got it. What's with the deer? What's with the deer?
I shot it.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it? 8-pointer? What do we got?
I think it's actually technically a 9-point because there's a little extra one where the Christmas lights are from. But that's the first buck I shot. I think I was a sophomore in high school, I think. Maybe a freshman. And we've had that for a while, and I brought it up a couple years ago, and it's just bounced around from room to room.
Just followed you around. Good. What wing are you? Mike's in 7-2. I'm a 7-0 guy.
The 7-0 veteran?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm in the corner. That's why I have this nice big room.
I'm on 3-2. So just right down the highway from Mike.
Yeah, first bat. Or no, sorry, first reg.
First reg.
Third bat and second bat.
You still got it. It's only been 10 years. You still got it.
Well, actually, you guys are my 10-year link in the chain or whatever they call it. Fun fact. It goes quick, dude. It goes quick. So I'm already recording right now, so let the shenanigans begin, I guess.
I want to see some teasers from the mic'd up.
Oh, you missed it already. We already did it. We already went through it.
Did you really?
We watched while you were troubleshooting.
Too late.
Sorry.
No, it's good. We'll go through it again. It's a little long. It's got to get chopped up. So, but we'll share it for the masses, and we'll get your take on it. Even though you're one of the stars of the mic up.
Posting on every platform.
Yeah, we're not ready for that yet. I got a couple. I'm juggling a couple projects right now, but we will get to the mic'd up edition of that. So, look, guys. Hey, we had a pretty awesome weekend. When you think of it, look at it, big lens down to, the individual, like we had a lot of really good wrestling as a team, and then a lot of individual standout, a lot of standout performances from individuals. I really, what was it yesterday? I asked you guys to jump on, if you guys were available. Was it yesterday morning?
I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's perfect to have you guys on here finally, and I hope we'll do it again before y'all leave, I'm sure. But one, it was y'all's senior night, so I want to talk a little bit about senior night. But also, you guys, you guys understand this. Obviously, I understand it from my perspective and my lens. Like, you guys aren't the guys on the mat every weekend, wearing the singlet, but you guys have had a profound impact on everybody, in the room to this point. And I think it was you, Marshall, who made the comment prior to the duel that it was like, you can't believe that it's already been, 4 years. And you feel like it was yesterday where you were having senior night as a freshman and you were just like, dang, like they're already leaving us, or like this is it for them. And like now you're that guy. Right? So I think this is just a good opportunity for us to kind of expand and elaborate on, some of those feelings and emotions from the weekend. But also just talk, talk about wrestling and, what this team has meant to you guys. So I guess I'll hand the mic over to you, Marshall, off the rip here, like just to kind of elaborate on that, that one comment that you had Saturday night. Yeah.
I mean, I just remember pretty vividly, it was our sophomore year, that senior night, we had been on the team long enough to have pretty significant relationships with those seniors, 2 years, you get to know someone pretty well. And it had the season, it's long, but when you're in it, it kind of flies by. And so we got to February or whatever it was, and those guys were walking across the mat, and I just remember sitting in the chair thinking, dang, they're not going to be here next year. And they've had such an impact on my life. And that would be like Jake Kozer was the captain and kind of all those guys. And then a few nights ago, I was sitting in the same chair thinking, like, I'm not going to be here next year. There's someone that was in my shoes 2 years ago sitting here right now having the same thoughts I probably was.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of this weird full circle moment for me because like you said, I don't weigh in, I don't like wrestling duels, but I've been here for kind of the ups and downs as long as Mike and I have been on the team, and it's been such a great experience. And kind of to see it come to a close is pretty. I mean, happy and sad, but it was
Yeah.
just a very. It's
Yeah.
it's senior night. It's like it's kind of the end, so it was
Yeah.
sad.
It's a bittersweet, something. Yeah, I mean, I remember those feelings, and just watching you guys walk into the center of the mat with your families, and with Colat and the soup, and I remember mine pretty vividly, and thinking like, wow, that's crazy. Like those 40, as a freshman, you guys probably felt the same way. It's like you see those guys go up there, you finish your freshman year. It's like, all right, sick. I got 3 more years of this, 3 more years of the brotherhood. Like, I'm good. I'm chilling. It's going to be great. And then, boom, it's gone. And just to kind of backpedal a little bit to something you said that, like, yeah, you guys aren't weighing in, but you guys are leaders of the team. It doesn't take, anybody, remotely as involved as I am to really see that and the impact that you guys have really, played on not only on the individuals throughout the room, but, on the broader culture of the team. And, I think that's worth highlighting and recognizing for sure. And, I know you guys would never say something like that. But I think it's worth me saying that you guys have made a huge impact, just like those guys like Kozer and your seniors certainly had on you. So while you might not be the guy wearing the singlet or, weighing in every weekend, like those guys look up to you significantly. And, after you're not, after you guys graduate, you're going to have, your impact will stick around for the next, however long, because of the impact you had on those individuals. What about you, Mike? I know I didn't really talk to you specifically, but I'm sure you've got some words and feelings about all that.
Yeah, I told Marshall when we were sitting there, like when you graduate, you like ascend up into the stands.
Yeah.
I know. I forget if it was. I think it was the Lehigh night. Some of your classmates were up there, and like you just keep going up. Because I think those like a lot of the 23, 24 guys came back. It was good to see them.
Yep.
But I told them you like ascend into the stands, so it's a cool progression. Because the way I think of it, I mean, we got here. Our seniors graduated in 2022. And we know everyone on this team pretty much at this point till 2030. So like class of 2022 to all the way to 2030 with all the recruits that we have in.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked about before, like other stuff, just finding ways to contribute to the program. I like helping out with the recruiting. I like being the good litmus test to see if, we're bringing in kids that are right for this program.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I was always taught leave something better than you found it. And, I think, this is the first time in my time here where we're just progressively getting better as the season has gone on. Usually we kind of start fast and we'll slow down. I think that's the opposite this year. I think just you see it in the practice room, you see it in the duels too. We're just getting better, which is good.
Yeah, for sure. We've definitely, Josh has made that comment to me several times where it's like kind of weird for him because it's usually a real fast start and then I don't know if it's the season kind of wears on you or what it is, but not that anybody gets worse, but the season just kind of wears on you and the energy and whatever kind of dies off. But you had a good comment there about the recruiting stuff, and that gets brought up all the time when the coaches are talking about, hey, we got this kid coming in. Blaze is always like, hey, I'm gonna hand it to Marsh or Mike, and he's gonna delegate this to who fits that mold for that individual type of thing. And I know you will be certainly missed in that regard. Like, I don't know who's gonna jump into that role next year for sure.
Someone will step up. That's why we got guys in the team. Someone will step up. I mean, looking at the guys we have coming in, just like the guys that are at naps right now in the recruitment. In like 3 years, this team is going to be unbelievable. And I really believe that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna be cool to watch from wherever I am.
what's that?
It's gonna be cool to watch because at that point I'll be, somewhere in the world, and I'll be watching on my computer, and I'll see like a firstie Danny Wask out there leading the team. It's like, oh crap, Danny's a firstie. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be scary when it happens, but it is gonna happen.
Just kidding, Danny.
No, we love you, Danny.
No, I'm sure everybody was saying the same thing about you and me for sure. I say the
Not
same
me.
thing.
I've been ready.
Not you, yeah,
I've
Mark.
been ready forever.
You were born ready. Leaders are born, not made. Whatever direction you guys go, whatever you guys end up doing.
I mean, I hang out with someone smarter than me every day. I talk to Marshall every day. Marshall's in like Rickover turning wrenches and crap. He's a mechanical engineer. I go to the Hall of Carter, and I do. I'm a scientist of the political kind.
What's y'all's majors again?
Political science. I'm a scientist.
Yeah.
Mechanical engineering.
Oh, okay.
So two different ends of the
big brain
academic spectrum.
Yeah. What's your capstone?
My capstone is the Formula car. So it's this little race car we built from scratch. We showed up on the first day and had this box of pipes, and with the help of some of the techs, welded it together to make the frame. And right now we're kind of working on where does the engine fit in the frame, how can we mount it, and then kind of put on the suspension pieces, and then from there get some of the systems on, and we'll have a car hopefully in a couple of months.
Yeah, when's the race or the test that you guys do?
Capstone Day is April 30th. So by then, you need to have something that'll, rip around the parking lot.
Don't let his big talk fool you. Marshall actually crashed the initial race car. Tell him about that, Marshall.
I did. We had a test drive day back in the fall, and we went out to UMD. There's this big parking lot, and drove one of the previous year's cars, and it happened to break while I was driving it. I can't say it was user error, but it might have been. But I was the last person to drive it that day. So say what you will.
Pushed it too far.
I think so.
Yeah. And then do you have to do a capstone, Mike? Probably just some big paper.
Yes, I'm writing a paper about coercion and the power to hurt in international politics. I have it in front of me. I was just working on it.
Coercion to what?
And the power to hurt in international politics. You can't crash a paper.
Can't crash a paper.
No, you can't.
No, you can't, but you can misspell some words.
Like international coercion.
What was your major, Peyton?
I was oceanography.
So what was your capstone?
Yeah, I had to do a report on certain variables and the impact of hurricane conditions or something in the Atlantic Ocean. So I had, my old school trifold poster, and I just was.
Did you travel somewhere? Like my roommate's ocean engineering. He went to Georgia to go work on his.
No, I just went over to Nimitz and opened up some old-fashioned books on oceanography. That's all I did.
But I mean, you open up a book, and that's like travel. You can go anywhere in the world and between the pages of a book. So
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. You're right. No, I mean, yeah, that's all it was. It wasn't too extensive. But I liked oceanography. It wasn't. I never wanted to be a weatherman or an oceanographer, but it was interesting. And I met my wife through oceanography, so
there you go. That's all you need.
Yeah,
worth it.
Totally. So what did you guys think of the weekend? I mean, like, beating Lehigh is always awesome. They were a top 25 team. I know they had some people out of their lineup, but beating Lehigh is a big deal as a team. So kind of share some of your thoughts on the broader performance from everybody, and then maybe if there were some individuals that you want to highlight from the weekend. Yeah, I mean, the whole weekend was great. So, not just Lehigh, but, Harvard too.
I mean,
Oh,
Lehigh's a damn good program. Like that was the first time since I've been here we've beaten them. I think it was Coach Colette's second time.
yeah,
And they were ranked, so anytime you get a win against a ranked opponent, it's good. The win is the win. You wrestle who's in front of you, and like, a lot of guys stepped up. Like John Lay,
yeah,
he had a great weekend. It's like the best I've ever seen him wrestle. 2 years here, he had an overtime win and a pin. It doesn't get better than that. It's like everything that we talk about. Way he's grown as a wrestler and a dude, like he's going to be an all-star. Josh, he's always solid. You can always count on him. Danny, when Josh graduates, Danny's going to be that guy. Always count on him for at least 3 and start turning to 4, 5, and 6. Ben Farbaugh, MVP of the week against Harvard. Just the whole bench when Farbaugh was beating that kid. Awesome. It was awesome. Marshall can agree with me on that one.
Yeah, that was a blast. I also think Peyton Thomas, lost a tough one to Beard against Lehigh on Friday, but I mean, that guy's an All-American. He wrestled him tough as a freshman, and I think Peyton's got a bright future here, and we're all excited to see kind of how that's going to stake out over the next couple of years. And like Mike said, first time beating Lehigh, that was exciting for all the seniors, definitely, and I think sets a good tone for the younger guys. Like, we can compete with these sort of blue blood wrestling programs, and not only can we compete, we can beat them and can continue to improve as a program. And we saw that also with Iowa State. Like, wrestled well in Ames early in the season, kind of a tough spot to wrestle. And, we continue to challenge ourselves with the schedules and things like that. And we just, sky's the limit.
No, that's a good point. I mean, both you guys, great point.
One more guy, Elmore.
Yeah.
He banged up his foot in like October, so I didn't really see the mat in those early duels.
Yeah.
Coach Barry got him into shape quickly, and he's now a huge contributing member to our lineup at 165. He just wrestles like he's been there already, and he's only going to get better.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I thought, really it's hard to just like say, oh, this was the standout guy. I agree. John Lay's matches were very memorable and stood out to me. Really what stood out most to me was like his poise. If you guys remember, this is what stands out to me, and I'm sure once I say this you'll agree, but like going into overtime, like the match is going to overtime, John doesn't look at the scoreboard. He doesn't look at the coaches. He walks straight to the center of the mat and he puts his foot on the line and sits in his stance. Like he is ready to go. He's not waiting for anybody. He's not listening to anybody. He just wants to finish this match and wrestle. And he had a similar style in Iowa for the Soldier Salute too, where he went into double or triple overtime and he ended up winning the match. But he went right back to the center thinking that there was like another overtime because he won on riding time or whatever it was in the double overtime. Like he thought there was more to wrestle, so he was like ready to go. And he did that again essentially this weekend by just, getting to the center of the mat and like he didn't care. And I think that's really just a testament to one, his confidence, his conditioning, and just a lot of tact and poise. And I agree, Mike. I think he's just developed into this like more confident dude at this point. And that was really put on show this weekend.
Yeah, like I remember last year, like Johnny like threw a guy into a scoreboard, like going out of bounds. Like it's like to talk about growth of a dude who's just now like coming into like being this great freaking wrestler. He's a good dude. Hammer, Chico.
Yeah. And Dylan had a good weekend. Majored Harvard. I don't remember what happened in the Lehigh match. He majors guy too?
Overtime.
Was it overtime?
It was overtime or it was like last like 15 seconds. He had something really slick scored. I wasn't looking, actually. I was turning my
You're
head
right.
talking to
It was.
Kilrain.
Yeah, it was third period. I don't think it was overtime. But he broke the dude.
It
at
was
the end.
slick and quick because I turned to look at Kilrain, and then I turned back around, and he was walking back to the center because he won. So it was whatever it was tactful.
Yeah, he looked good. Definitely excited for guys, and you guys certainly recognize this. Like, there's so much, like the ceiling. I don't know where our ceiling is as a team. Josh is the only senior that's consistently in the lineup each weekend, and then you got Ferretti and Kamen as second class, and then everybody else is a sophomore or a junior or a freshman. So you kind of alluded to this earlier, Mike, but like, what does that mean for the expectations of the program in the next couple of years?
I mean, we're always just win, just score points. That's what Colette always says. If you just score points, we're gonna win. And like, I think you're starting to see really the team taking a big shift in just output. Like, Colette got hired in 2020, so my first year here was his second year here. Now that we're a couple like Colette recruit classes deep, you're starting to see the output and the result.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think. Are you ready to watch your? If I can find it, your little teaser here, Marshall.
I would love to see the grand reveal.
Well, this
It's keeping me up at night.
Did you post the full thing to YouTube?
Not yet. No. So I'm still chopping stuff up. I got to shorten it down. It's got to get less than a minute. Otherwise, people won't watch it. If it's more than a minute.
Oh, man. There's more than a minute of content.
There's so much more good stuff. But what I've learned in this, like, I'm not a social media guy, or I'm not good at this stuff at all. But what I've learned is, like, because Facebook, Instagram, and whatever, I don't do TikTok, but they like tell you
the analytics, the data.
Analytics, the insights.
Yeah, you can get that.
And it says, like, you don't capture somebody's attention in the first 3 seconds, like, people just get through it.
You need a hook. It's a hook.
How depressing is that, though?
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, how depressing. Yeah, it's not a good sign for the rest of our future here. All right, let me see here. Okay, so this is I'm not even done, like, adding footage, and it's already 6 minutes long. So,
I mean, we were mic'd up for probably at least 30% or 30 minutes. So there's got to be at least 10 minutes of usable content.
I think we got up to like 165. Yeah, I think Elmore was the last match. I'm pretty
You're
sure.
having some very dense, stimulating conversation. Like, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
It's going to take me a couple days to go through this, guys. So please be patient. But here's a little teaser, and then we'll get your take on it at the end. So here is Harvard mic'd up, starring Mike Ponenti and Marshall Hanson.
You're done. You're finished. Yeah. This is the future.
The rumor is Colette had to teach him how to get into a stance when he got here.
Take that, David Keys.
Take that, David Keys. Yeah. See, David took, I think, 2 shots this whole time.
More pins than shots.
Yeah, more pins than shots. The rumor is Colette had to teach him how to get into a wrestling stance.
So look how natural he looks out there. Comfortable.
2
smooth.
knee pads, different colors.
Different levels of padding as well. It's just
2 bad knees, a bad nose, a bad back, a bad Achilles heel.
It's all part of the secret sauce.
It's all part of Brendan's little formula. I think he's wearing issued underwear too. Here we go. This is it. This is just why he's a pinner.
An artist at work.
He's a pinner. He's a pinner.
Michelangelo on the
Same
Sistine
thing
Chapel.
on his back.
On his back.
That's Brendan wrestling.
Working the brush. Work him here, Brendan.
This is good. The wall of
Put
Brendan.
him over.
Marco, that's the reverse cow catcher. See, sometimes.
Hold on, I gotta pause it because I love how, like, okay, this is my first time doing one of these mic'd up things, but I didn't realize this till I started clipping this up. Is like you guys are saying like just this ridiculous stuff, and then you got like Josh like 2 feet behind you, like pacing, like stalking, like a
He
lion.
can
About
hear us. He can says he doesn't hear us, but he hears us, and we help him. Without us,
We keep
he
it
can't
light.
do his
you know?
job.
It's just like I see him in the background. I'm like, dang, he can definitely hear you, and then hear you two just yucking it up. But
What do you mean? This is in-depth analysis and commentary.
He always asks us what we think. He comes off the mat. He doesn't even go to call. He comes to us. He says, "What do you think?"
well, I mean, he hit the Ponenti this weekend.
That's
so.
what I taught him that.
Everyone zigs, you have to zag, and that's what we did right. You just take what you did. You just go. It's perfect.
Navy Wrestling could not get it done without the good work of Raytheon,
Chevron, British Petroleum,
Jimmy John, the Baltimore Ravens,
BuildSubmarines.com,
May they rest in peace.
Yeti Coolers,
Naval Bagel,
Adobe.
and did we say IBM and Raytheon? We just want to shout them out one more time. Grumps, good job.
Yeah, it might be
And
John
he has
Clay.
one additional year after more than Brendan.
That is true. I remember David Keepenny.
They have a
like
runoff.
that.
think Danny's ever lost.
But it's one of the Dylan did once capture and tame a pet raccoon
He did have
more
a
than
pet,
6 months.
he did have a pet raccoon growing
And I
up. He
think
also had
some
a
of-
pet turkey that ran
Some of
away.
his reflexes and speed came from that training.
He had a turkey. He also had, and the turkey ran.
It's impossible to prove they did, but it's also impossible to prove that they didn't have an effect on his recipe.
That's how they breed him in Kansas. It's just different.
Just-
I hear one of the
Don't
reasons
let
he
him
said
run.
There's 6 minutes of this.
he received from his pet.
I think this is the last clip. I must have some other stuff hanging out at the end. Yeah, I lied. It's only 2 minutes, but
Elmore did have a turkey and a raccoon. He had a couple raccoons actually.
that's wild.
They're wild animals, so
Oh yeah, I had something at the end of the. You see that there? Yeah. So I didn't. Like I said, I haven't finished editing this thing.
is there just blanket audio then? It's just us talking
What do you mean?
because it's just 6 minutes, but if there's no footage and the mics are on. Is it just
No,
us?
it's because I moved. I don't know if you can still see my screen, but like
I can see
I
it.
moved this clip out of the way, and it just extended the whole file to 6
Oh.
minutes.
I see.
Yeah. So I still have some more to do there. I apologize for the delay, gentlemen. I know you guys are eagerly anticipating this.
The
release.
editing is very important for getting the clicks and the views.
Absolutely. So I think so far I like the comment on Dylan's raccoon the most.
That's got to get in there somehow.
But
He
there's
did
a
get
lot
bit by
of
the turkey.
there's a lot of good stuff. And it also explains a lot.
It
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
doesn't it? You're like, huh.
You
I
say
did have a
what
pet
animal
raccoon, huh?
best represents Dylan Elmore? You would say a tamed wild raccoon. That's how he looks. That's
If
how he
anybody could tame a raccoon, I think it's him. I
Like-
don't know. He's got this like calming effect. I'm sure, for wild animals.
You
He's
think
like
like Gorilla, Danny Wask, Jackrabbit, Josh. I can just start naming animals. Ferretti, like
Dylan
a
probably
short-haired
had a-
terrier.
Profound effect on the raccoon, and the raccoon also probably had a profound effect on Dylan. So it's a
Yeah.
give and take, It's
Yeah. Well, I wonder what's going on with that raccoon now. Like where,
That's
where
dead.
was it?
I mean, the stories he probably told his friends, they never believed him when he got back. Spent 6 months in a house.
You heard
I
of
don't-
Calvin and Hobbes?
Yeah, of course.
It's Dylan and the raccoon. Same
That's
thing.
the real Calvin and
It's
Hobbes.
the Kansas version.
Yeah, I believe that. He should write a book or a comic.
He can't write. Picture book.
Jeez.
Draw.
This can't turn into a bashing session. All right. Well, we are at 31 minutes with a little bit of seriousness and a lot of shenanigans. You
That's
guys
how we
have.
do it.
That's how you do it.
That's how we do
That's how
it.
you do it on 7-2. Lucky 13. What do you guys? I guess this is kind of like the last closer here that I can think of. If there's other stuff you guys want to talk about, I got all night. What are you guys looking forward to most? In the last couple months you got at the academy, not just including wrestling. Please talk about wrestling, but grad week is the best week of your life at this point. Like, will be the best week of your life at this point, and that's coming up. But then, what are you looking forward to in the next 5 years? Because that's what you signed up for. Marshall, you first.
I think more short term, I'm excited to see how this team does. We've got big one against Army, Easterns. Would love to see Josh, at the top of the podium in March. And then for the rest of the year, I think our friends we have a good group of friends that we've all gotten pretty close, and just to kind of soak in the last couple of months with them. Everybody lives in the same building. You're right down the hall from all your best friends, which is pretty unusual and so much fun. And then I'm definitely excited to just get into training and kind of get out in the real world and be an adult, sleep on a bed that's not 5 feet up in the air, have a kitchen, some of the creature comforts will be nice. But all joking aside, like, there's so much out there for us to go, basically just for the taking. And I'm excited to get into that a little bit.
Good answer.
Marshall said it best. This is the only time for the rest of our lives where all of our best friends are going to live down the hall from us. That I can walk to Marshall's room in 5 minutes. I can walk to some other guy's room in 10. And this is the last time it's going to be like that. So you got to make every moment count. But as for being in the moment, we just got to finish strong.
What are you guys going to miss the most about this place?
I love to complain about Bancroft Hall. It's too hot, it's too cold, there's a lot of stairs. It's not personal, all that stuff, but I'm 100% gonna miss being pretty much right on top of everybody that I like to spend time with. You don't have to get in the car. You can just knock on their door. You don't even have to knock. You can just walk in their room and they're either there or they're not. And you could always find one of your friends to hang out with or do something with. And in 4 months, it's going to be profoundly different. And I think it'll be nice, to not be in Bancroft, but you're going to miss all your friends and you're going to have to get in the car and, everybody's going to be on different schedules. And that'll be a little bit sad.
Yeah. About you, Mike?
Yeah, the people.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably talk with this, Peyton, but I guess you probably had a lot of your classmates, teammates, buddies that you wound up seeing again, being stationed in the same spot. But yeah, it's the last time you're going to be on top of people. You just walk into their rooms. I mean, I'll walk into Marshall's house one day. I don't really care whether it's unlocked or not. I'll go in, but
in the front or the back, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It'll be locked, but you can just have a key.
No, it's funny you say that. Every team and every class is different, but and I'm not saying I made promises to anybody, but I guess it's just kind of this mutual agreement. Hey, we're gonna stay in touch. When we leave, we go our separate ways. And the unfortunate truth is, like, you guys, you guys are gonna start different chapters at different times and go different ways. You're gonna make new friends, but you guys will always be able to call one another and just pick up right where you left off. Whether one of you guys is in San Diego or in Norfolk or wherever, it won't matter. And you'll still have a key to their house even if they're in different parts of the country. But all right, I kept saying last question. One more question. What would you what would you say to that freshman, that plebe this year that's thinking to themselves, all right, sick, I got 3.5 more years of this place, to figure out who I am and what I'm gonna be when I grow up type thing.
Is Mike going first or am I?
If you're ready, send it.
I would just say, figure out what you want, however you have to do that, and then just make it happen. It's the resources here are unbelievable. And half the battle is figuring out what you have access to and how to get to it. And once you figure that out, you can make a lot happen. And so wrestling gives you so amazing alumni, great facilities, all of that. Your teachers are invested in you, your friends, things like that are just, you're so set up for success that you have no excuse not to pursue what you want, no matter what it is. And it would be a shame to not take advantage of those things. And that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get what you want or things are going to work out perfectly, but your chances are so much better if you pursue it than if you just kind of wait around and hope that something happens to you. So just make your own luck is what I would say.
Yeah, no, I like that. How about you, Mike?
I would say, remember you're a Navy wrestler. You can call anyone on like that poster behind you. As I know that's how I'm gonna, and they'll probably drop whatever they're doing and they'll help you out. I know that's how I'm gonna be. I know you are Peyton, and being a Navy wrestler means, wherever you are in the world, you're still a Navy wrestler. NWE.
That's right. Well, I couldn't think of a better way to close out episode than that. You guys got anything else for me?
Thanks for having us. This was a blast.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I enjoy it. This is like this is one of the perks of the gig. I get to sit down and have conversations with people that you either don't have time to or just you wouldn't normally have. So I think you guys, like I kind of said at the beginning, while you might be in the background to most people, from people outside of the team, you guys are in the front for everybody that's inside the walls of the wrestling room, if you know what I mean. You guys are right there in the front. You're great examples and great leaders for the younger guys, and have certainly made an impact on them thus far. So thank you to you guys for everything that you've done and the men that you are now. And, I'm excited to watch you guys grow and watch your, prosper in your careers, and excited to, get to hang out with you guys for a couple more months till I see you throw your cap in the air. But till then, let's keep chugging along.
Donate to the Navy Wrestling Club. Yeah, that's all partners.
That's right. Well, thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thanks, Peyton.
Hey,
10
thank you.
hours.